Hello ratbags, it's Jade. Welcome to a Valheim news video. Today we're going to go over the latest development news from devs. No update today, and it looks likely that Hearth and Home won't be arriving anytime soon. I'm saying now we could even be waiting until July, judging by what they've put in their development blog today. But there is some good news, like they are on the cusp of hiring some more people. We got new teases about what Hearth and Home will actually have inside it. And we're going to go over all the other stuff, including them hitting 7 million copies sold probably by now. As well as a terrifying new creature being added to the game, and the devs are not even going to tell us when they're adding it. All that and more, let's go. It's the Valheim news. Okay, so I'm just going to paraphrase this quite a bit, not to take up your time, but basically the last couple of weeks they've been interviewing potential co-workers for the future. Now, they have been looking for a while, but with the COVID situation, it has affected different countries in different ways, and they probably just haven't been able to go about their business like they normally would. So now it's good news. It does hopefully mean we're going to get more devs on board. And for the very impatient, understandably, sometimes that you want some updates incoming, well, hopefully this will contribute to that actually happening a bit quicker. Obviously, it's still going to take a while, and yeah, when they get involved, get settled in, and by the time they're actually contributing and stuff, it's still going to mean that this first update, I don't think it's going to be any quicker. And who knows, maybe it's not about the actual update content, maybe it's just about stability and performance, and that's the kind of thing they've gone for in trying to find new people. Maybe extra engineers, I don't know. But yeah, it's good news at least that they are getting some more crew to help them out. They are only 5 people or 6, so yeah, they absolutely could do some more bots. They are sponsoring a riding club. No, this doesn't mean horses are coming to Valheim. For a minute, I thought they were taking a leaf out of my book with the clickbait. So I'm sure we're going to see lots of these pictures of this horse, which is, of course, called Valheim now, apparently. The rest of the update speaks about how they've added certain things like the overhaul to the creatures or the bosses looking different and the harpoon mechanics, and that Hearth and Home is going well, progress is. The update's starting to take shape, and the past month has been very productive, with many new items and mechanics being finalised. There are of course many more things we want to make before the update is released, and we don't want to rush it. In our last dev blog we explained how we work, wanting to let things take the time they need and not setting a release date before we know for certain that the game is in a state that we can proudly present. And the response we got was fantastic. We are eternally grateful for having such a kind and understanding community. We're very proud to get to be on this journey with all of you. In the last 2 updates, we gave you some sneak peeks. This time is no different. What are these 2? I have absolutely got no clue what the first one is. Someone's saying it could be a map, like a picture of a map that you can have on your wall. To me, it just looks like a hide, some sort of skin. I think it's really super hard to tell what it could possibly be. And then this one is clearly some shutters for a window. It's gotta be. So more decorative items, and that'd be cool as well. That does look pretty good, making our homes look all nice and special. Building such a huge component of Valheim, so any way they're adding variety to it is all good. Now the reason I say don't expect maybe the Hearth and Home update until possibly July is they're looking to do some sort of Q&A in June. Hopefully we can answer your questions about the game, development and the team. If this is something you'd be interested in, you can comment down below. So there we go, go and ask your question about Valheim on the Steam forum, and I like the fact they're doing this on Steam as well. I know they've got a lot of people in Discord, like 120,000 or some stupid number, and obviously a lot of people follow them on Twitter, but it's always good to keep this kind of stuff local to where your game is actually sold. Not everyone enjoys being on Discord or on Twitter, and this gives other people a chance to talk. So yeah, ask some good questions people, not when is update. Yeah, but judging by that, and because they are going to be talking about a Q&A in June, that's what makes me think that we're not going to maybe get the Hearth and Home update until July. I could be wrong, maybe they'll go a bit earlier, but it does sound like they're just about to get their staff in the door, get them comfortable. That's going to take a good few weeks. So yeah, don't get your hopes up about this Hearth and Home update hitting anytime soon. Now, there's a lot of articles out there, just like us YouTubers speculating on when things are going to happen. But to be honest, there's not a lot of good news in any of them. It's pretty much regurgitating everything that we've been talking about for a while now. That they're not going to necessarily go and rush something out just for the sake of it. We do understand, or I understand anyway, that you guys, some of you are super keen. It has been a good few months now, and we've had some smaller little updates that have improved and adjusted. But I could definitely understand some people feeling a bit frustrated that they haven't got any big major content coming in. That said, obviously the sales of the game have meant there were no desperate need to add updates just to get people to try the game. One of the biggest issues with early access is a lot of game companies need the updates every month or very quickly because they need the revenue. The more updates they're pushing out, the more they're showing they're working on the game, the more interesting stuff they're bringing into it, the likelihood is that people will pick it up and give it a try. But when you've sold nearly 7 million copies, and that was apparently predicted by the end of June, it does mean you need to probably take your time a little bit more, because you've got such a big fan base. You can't rush something out, otherwise you'll get a lot of hate back. And they've done the job. They've sold enough copies to be able to do that. Yeah, it may suck for certain people that really just want to do nothing but play Valheim, but come on now, you got your value, surely. I'm just showing you guys some of the quarterly, yearly or returns from the Embracer Group, which own the Coffee Stain studio, which published Valheim, and Valheim made them a shed ton of money. So I had always kind of believed that Iron Gate maybe had made quite a big chunk because they're an independent game company and Coffee Stain seemed like a good publisher. They might have not took the 50 or 60% that a lot of publishers do, but now I'm starting to question that as well. Just a little news flash for people that don't realise that most publishers take that much money out of your earnings. So even if they've sold 7 million copies, it's not like the Valheim devs themselves have directly seen that money. Sure, they've earned a lot and they've set them up for life, but still, a lot of that has probably been paid to the publisher. So undoubtedly, they've got loads of money to finish development now. They won't need another sale again during early access, for sure. I'm not sitting here saying that's one of the reasons why. I'm just saying that because of the money generated, they don't necessarily need to rush something bad out, because I think we'd all get pissed off if they launched an update and it was just broken and just really didn't add much to the game. And for the price of the game, I can't see why people are complaining. I'll be the first one to have a go at a developer releasing maybe a $50 or $60 game and then they don't go and update their game, or the game is just quite frankly rubbish at release. But Valheim was good, it was great. I got my time out of it, and although I've not been playing lately as much, I definitely know I'm going to get back on it soon. Even with or without the update, I've got big plans for Valheim coming forward. It's okay people, you can go and play another game just for a month or so. But yeah, for the price of it, I just don't get how people can be so entitled. 15 squid, it was cheap as chips, it entertained, it was great for at least a month, and it's definitely got loads of replayability for it. Now obviously the player numbers have dropped, and I would say it's very low compared to some other games. They definitely benefit from the COVID lack of games, and dropping down to 26 or 36,000 right now, that is pretty low. But that is still miles better than most games. Even at Valheim's lowest, they're still doing miles better than games like Conan Exiles have ever done. And just to give you an idea of some games that have had massive peaks and done really well over the years, but then fallen into just nice, general, stable numbers, Terraria is a really good example. Now Terraria have taken a long time to update their game at times. Like literally, it's been a couple of years almost in between, especially on console. And I like the Terraria comparisons because I think Valheim is just like Terraria in so many ways. I think that last count I saw, Terraria sold like 15 or 18 million copies, something stupid like that across the world. And on average, they're sitting on around 40 to 55,000 people playing it on a monthly basis. So I could well see Valheim hitting that kind of score. But I do think that's going to take a while before we start seeing that. I do think these numbers probably will dip a bit more. And Valheim probably will level off at around 20 to 25,000 players until the Home and Hearth update hits. Once it does, I expect the spike of players to go massively high. There's so many of you guys that have loved the game, realised its limits, and then you're just doing something else now until maybe it's ready with its update. So expect big content from lots of tubers and streamers, me included, when it does hit. And until then, I guess it's just the mod support. I guess that's the only thing I would probably say I wish they'd maybe integrated a little bit with Steam. I understand the reasonings why it causes a lot of development hassle and issues, but there is something just nicer in being able to access mods on an official platform like this, rather than maybe through third-party sites. And mods are definitely keeping people busy at the moment with the game too. Okay, and then on to the last bit. So Grimcore, the art guy at Valheim, has obviously been doing his Twitch streams on his personal channel. It isn't a dev focus channel. It's not representing Iron Gate Studios. But let's be real, he does do a lot of stuff related to Valheim, whether it's just art that's going to go in or other stuff that might end up being in the game or might not be. Now recently, last week I do believe, he showed off some of the creations of the Elder Gods and Bone Mass, how they've changed and what he did, and maybe tweaked the concept art and stuff and got the new images ready. So it's really cool. I love seeing this kind of stuff. But 2 weeks ago, I have been sitting on this a while. Basically, I wanted to get some other news about Valheim, but it just really hasn't been anything going on. But listen to what he had to say.
One creature we've got in mind, and the way it's going right now, we're not going to even update the patch notes when we release that creature. It's just going to be there, and I'm just going to sit and smile when you guys shit your pants.
So there we go, a creature is coming to Valheim, and you won't even know it's there until it attacks you. That's great stuff, I love that. Now, to be honest, I did watch it. I was actually here when this happened, and I swear he said something about it being a water type creature. I could be wrong on that, but that's what I vaguely remember. It has been like over 2 weeks ago now. So yeah, I'm going to guess and keep on with that and say I think it is going to be some sort of water-based creature to make the journeys across, you know, the oceans and stuff a bit more extra dangerous. But yeah, don't hold it to me. Obviously though, he did say this creature will just like pop up, we won't even tell people about it, so I guess it's maybe not a boss creature, but hey, I can dream. I reckon that will be in the game eventually. There will be a giant leviathan in the water that we'll have to take on. So there we go guys, go and check out his Twitch channel where you can keep up to date with his art, sometimes related to Valheim, sometimes not, and see him play in Valheim quite a bit with some of the moderators and the people at Irongate. And I will be back when there's some proper news and the proper PTS update. I'll always let you guys know when it goes live and show you some of the new stuff. I kind of hope they don't put the big update on the PTS. It kind of would be nice to be surprised. I know I can choose not to do it, but I kind of have to show it the minute it's ready. Otherwise everyone else jumps on it. But there you go. I'll see you at Bags for more Valheim very, very soon. I've got big stuff coming, regular Let's Play content.